Okay, guys, quick update with Bitcoin. Well, we'll see how quick it is. We're only days away from that ring where I'm expecting a big move. I have been scalping, but I have not held any positions. Again, when we make contact with the ring, I will hold my long. When we cross it, I'll go short. And I'll show you some possible scenarios, but most importantly, our key levels. I apologize, I haven't put a video up in 2 weeks. If you're OG, you've been around for a while, you probably remember those live streams I did back in the day, and you'd hear meows in the background. That cat, she was older, and we thought she was fine. She had some little respiratory issues. We thought maybe it was a cold or something like that, and we took her to the vet. They had to put her under to do some check her out, and ultimately, I got a call from the vet during the procedure. There were some complications, and I had to make a decision. It was the hardest decision I ever made. Ultimately, she was put down, so it's just been really sad past couple weeks. So that's why I haven't been active on YouTube. I have been making posts on Discord, but it's taking a little bit of time to get over it, and things are getting back to normal now. So I'm starting to do videos again. So that's why I took a little break, guys. So let's get on with this. I do want to cover these key levels. You'll notice I have this arrow pointing at this line. This is what we need to pay attention to currently, and I'll give you the timing for this ring. If you watched the previous video I put up, again, you see it down here 2 weeks ago. I was talking about there was a gap below around 77,800 that needed to get filled or could get filled, and we had a gap above. And I did mention, because this was the first time, notice all these daily opens were above the bottom of this channel. Since we got a daily open below this channel, instead of seeing more likely, we'd come down and fill this gap. And then we'd probably push up and fill the other gap, which is what played out. I'll link this video now if you want to check it out. So as you can see, we're getting close to the ring. This is this channel here, this one I just mentioned. So you notice all the daily opens were above that line right there. You see all the way back. Daily opens below, we were down. Daily opens above, we push up. We got wicks below, but the daily opens are always above. And since we got a daily open below right here, that things changed. And you can see we came down, we filled the gap. We actually had a pretty good wick below. But now we are pushing up, and we're getting close to that ring. And as I said, I will long the ring on contact. So we could come back down and make contact. Take note, the center Bollinger Band on the daily and the center of this channel and this fib channel line is sitting right here around, this is 84,300. So we could get rejected here. We could go sideways. So I'm just gonna give you timing and just give you a key level so you can kind of know how to play this. But I will long the ring, and I will try my best to get a video up when I do long the ring. But for now, I'm just gonna give you key levels to pay attention to and timing. Guys, if you want to get a leverage trading, CoinCatch has a great options. No KYC, no VPN. I'll put a link up to my my link if you want to sign up to CoinCatch now. Also, they are having, this is ongoing, the specials that CoinCatch is doing. If you deposit $1,000, you can get a $3,000 bonus. You deposit $500, you get a $750 bonus. And it's limited slots, so every 7 days it starts over. So it's 30 slots for the $3,000 bonus. Payout is within 7 days. And same with the $750 bonus. There's 300 slots every 7 days, and the payouts in 7 days. But you need to have those funds in your futures account. I'll put a link up to this events page. All of these links will be pinned in the first comment description, as well as how to claim your bonus. People were curious about that. They were emailing me, so I'll just have that link in the pinned in the first comment description, how to claim your bonus as well. And remember, guys, you can sign up for these charts to get access to, again, all these charts are live. You get access to them, and if you do sign up, make sure you email me through the contact page so I can give you the Discord invite link. So let's just get into this, guys. So currently you can see we are at a resistance level, and this is just the guesstimation. We did get a nice rejection around 88,586, and you can see we're coming up to test that now, and that's around 88,108. So if we get above that, in my opinion, that will be bullish, but do keep in mind that the top of this channel, let me move this out of the way, the top of this channel is right above us now, is around, let's just say 90K, and that's the top Bollinger Band on the daily here. So our most critical resistance above is around 89,997. If we do push above this line, so again, let me go to this chart here. So you see this green line right here. All right, this is our resistance, and again, it's kind of hard to nail down. This looks accurate to me. So we got rejected up here around 109,000, which has been moving. Every time we test this line, we get rejected. Nice perfect rejection here. Got rejection there. So if we get above, again, if we get above this level right here around 88,103, roughly, your next major resistance, as I said, is going to be the top of that channel, and it's going to be this yellow line I've been talking about for months and months and months. There's going to be a lot of resistance as well. But those are your critical resistance levels, and take note, this green line right here, this was our previous resistance flipped as support. We dropped down, we came back up, we tested it as resistance, we kind of pushed above it, we tested it as perfect resistance here. So I just want to let you know that these lines are converging at that point. So again, right now your current major resistance, pay attention to it, 88,100. We get above that, pay attention to the top of this channel, all right? Because that channel was resistance and flipped as support. Remember, we got rejected here, here, here. Then it became support all through here, right? We came down, we bounced in the bottom of the channel, became resistance again. So that will be resistance. And again, like I said, top of the Bollinger Band. And this yellow trend line here is what I was showing you right here. So that's going to be a lot of resistance as well. So 88,100, around 90,000. And then you've got this yellow macro trend line that's coming very close to our support for this pattern we broke down from, around 92,200. So those are key levels on the daily you need to pay attention to. So let's look at some possible scenarios. So let's say that if we drop, all right, so right now, if we just went sideways, which is possible because on the daily, this is our support. And if you notice, I have been making posts in Discord, guys, and I'll show you this in just a minute. But you can see right here, we got rejected right at this fib line. This is a great point to scalp, around 88,700. And then I said our support level was right here, this fib channel line on the D1 chart, around 87,281. And if you'll notice, we did wick below it, but we did push back up. So that is your current support right now. Pay attention to see if we get a daily open above or below. If we get a daily open above 80, let's say 87,230, obviously if we get above this this resistance level, then we know we're at least bullish up to 90K. But let's say we get rejected and we come down. So the next daily open, it's not including today, if we went sideways, we are only 5 days from making contact from that ring. So if we just went sideways, you know, it would make more sense if we hold above this point, we would do something like this. We would just kind of go sideways, do something like that. If at that point, if we make contact with this ring, I would go long, because every time we've hit one of these orange rings, we've always got a bounce. So let's say that price is at, all right, we're holding support at 88,114. We make contact with that ring. Do keep in mind, this is going to be a lot of resistance, this fib line here, but I think that would be bullish just because we hit the ring, we always get a bounce. And it is possible, that means we'll be breaking up from this green line that's been resistance going back a good ways. This line right here, that would be bullish within itself. And because we'd make contact with the ring above this fib line here, that is even more bullish, and we make contact with the ring. So that means it's very possible if we continue sideways and up, within the next 5 days, you want to go long, around 87,892. Now let's say that we get rejected, all right? We're coming up to test this again. So if we drop, you know, and price comes straight down, well, if we drop straight down right now today, we could come all the way down to 80,650 to make contact with that ring. I think that's very unlikely. I think the most likely scenario, if we get a drop, notice the center line, dotted line of this channel, right? This brings us right around to 84,500. You have the center Bollinger Band sitting here, 84,400 around that area. And you have this fib channel line right here. So that is a lot of support. So if we kind of went sideways and down, I will be longing 84,200, right? 84,150 around that area. I'll have a stop set, a little bit below that. But I think that would be a great point too long. I don't think we'll drop past this point, because if we do, we'll be crossing this ring and I expect some major downside. Now, if you want to go ahead and long now, you can. I'm going to show you why on another chart. But you do have your levels, guys, at least on the daily, to pay attention to, and all of that's pretty much right here. So 92,000, all right? And then remember, you've got the top of this channel around 90K, and then currently we're at resistance right now, and that's pretty much, we're testing it now, 88,200. We'll have to see how that plays out. So that explains all of that, guys. And remember that we held support here. So if something happens and we cross that ring and we came down, well, you do know that this is going to be a support level here to pay attention to, depending when we make contact with it. And then we have this line that was support, and that's around 81,000. But we will cross that bridge when we get to it. Just want to explain this ring, but I do think when we make contact with the ring, we will push up, but we need to get above 92,200. If we get above that, I expect a lot more upside. And again, in Discord, and this is what I wanted to point out. So what I did was I made another ring and centered it within this orange ring, and that gave us, because you'll notice, notice we got a bounce. This is what I was talking about. Every time we hit a ring, got a bounce. And then we had a drop to the next ring. We hit it, got this huge bounce, came back down with resistance. We got another bounce, but it was before the orange ring. Remember, and again, every time we cross the orange ring, we get a drop. So every time we cross it, I'm going to go short. Now, depending if we go continue down or not, we'll have to see. But notice we pushed up and hit it as resistance. So that is the third scenario that we need to watch out for. But the reason I added that other ring there is just to show. You can see that we got a bounce right here. So by me adding this ring, it gave us a point to potentially long. I mean, you should have longed around 78,000 when we filled that gap. But notice once we hit this ring, we pushed up. I do think it's still possible. I mean, if we go back here and look, we still broke, and we hit this and pushed up. We still broke below it, hit the ring, got a bounce, hit the ring, got a bounce. This was just a point saying if you wanted to chance a long a little sooner, because we could just chop sideways and hit it. But I'm waiting till we make contact with this ring. That is when I will go long. I did want to point out, just comparing price action with the MACD, which I did kind of find interesting. If you'll notice, so the MACD, you'll notice the moving averages here. Notice the moving average was highest point here, and you notice that's kind of where we topped out and we went sideways. And then you'll see right here, now this is the this one played out a little differently. Notice that the MACD was its lowest point. Take note of this blue line at the bottom, down here, this blue line. This is the only time we came below this point. And when that happened, price pushed all the way back up to our previous high, actually a little higher. We pushed up to, what, 68,500? That is right here. See the moving average, it was peaked all the way up here. But notice what happened after we peaked, and this is very similar to what's going on over here. I've seen a lot of YouTubers talking about, I guess, money supply, and if you take Bitcoin price action and you move it forward or backwards a certain amount of time, the money supply matches up with the price action of Bitcoin. I think that's a perfect setup. I think so many people are seeing that and thinking that's how it's going to play out. They're expecting it, and I think if everybody's playing the same thing, it's not going to happen. So I'm just going based on the ring entirely, but I did want to show you this. So notice these red lines. So notice price was dropping, right? And then we dropped down to this blue line here. And then it looked like, oh, price held support, it's going to push back up. And what happened? We broke down again. And then you can see right here, we came back down to this blue line again, and you can see price just continued dropping. All right, and then we just kind of consolidated, went sideways, and pushed up. So all I want to point out is over here, you can see how high we went. We topped out. This was at least a moving average on the MACD. This was back on the 20th of November, 2024. Notice we kind of topped out and kind of went sideways. Well, this blue line down here, we tested it, right? And then we pushed up. So look, we tested the blue line on the moving average down here at the bottom. We pushed up, we came back, tested it again, and then we just kind of went sideways and dropped. same thing. We tested it, right? And we called a bounce, pushed up, and then ultimately we came back down and started dropping. So when people see the MACD, the moving average really low, they think, oh, well, it's time to buy in. And those are market makers just tricking people to buy in, so they go long, and then everything comes crashing down. So I did want to point that out. We did not drop as low as we did back here. Again, this is the odd one. This played out differently. But I think the timing for this, because we got this peak. Let me grab my arrow here. Because we got, hold on, I do apologize. Because we got, it's a huge arrow. Because we got our peak right here, right? Where I think we potentially topped. And now we're coming down and we're testing this blue line. It is very possible. You know, we got a little bounce, and we could continue up. We could come back down, drop down to this ring, push back up, and the same thing that played out over here and over here will play out over here. We'll push up, and then we'll drop, and they'll push up a bit and have another drop, because I'm expecting a major drop after we cross that ring. But I did want to show you that, guys. It's good to go back and look at previous price action and see how the MACD played out and with price movements, because you would think, you know, when the moving average was all the way down here at the bottom, that'd be a point to go long, and you could have, you know, it just chopped, but we didn't really get that high, and then we had another drop. So just something to pay attention to. But I do think, just because of the way it played out previously, where these red lines are, I think we could push up a bit. We'll have to see how high we go. But I do think once we cross this ring, we can see some downside. And you know, that's what I was showing you before. This is the hourly, guys. So see how we got rejected at this fib line? All these fib lines will come into play. We got a nice rejection right around 88,700. Your next resistance level just above is around 90K. Keep in mind that this is a very key fib line. This goes way back, 90,000. You know, if it's over here, it's around 90,380. But that is on par with this line right here, right? So if we push up today, that's around 89,985. Notice we do get wicks above, but again, you got your top Bollinger Band on the daily, you got this fib line, and now we're showing that we have resistance right here, right around like 90,430. So we could wick up to that point, and that means that 88,947 could become support. But right now, your first key resistance level is around 88,812. Next major resistance level, like I said, 90K is going to be a lot of resistance. And just above, your next major key resistance level I have on the hourly is around 94,224. Your most strongest support level now, this was resistance, and you can see it was around 85,365. We came back down, tested that as support. So now your most critical support level is around 85,773. And then your next major support level is going to be around 83,438, and then 81,181. So these are just your levels on the hourly to play. But again, most importantly, I would pay attention to these levels on the daily. We know that 90K is going to be a lot of resistance, so that could be an ideal point to short. So again, understand what I'm saying. We could drop from here, and if we do, I will long the hell out of 84,200, and I will put a stop below. And again, sometimes it's better to go in, pick your margin. So if you're going to do 10x or 15x or 5x, pick your margin you want to use. Your leverage you want to use. And then start out with lower margin. And if price starts pushing up, you can keep adding margin to your trade, so you're making more money. But I would decide how much leverage you want to use. But again, I will, if we drop, this is where I will long, and this is where I will hold, right around the $84,300 area. And again, if we continue sideways and we're above 87,892, well, that's where I will long and hold my long. And we might get a rejection here, but again, going by the ring and seeing we always get a bounce at the ring, once we make contact with the ring, I will go long. But remember what I said, at any point, I wish I had the other chart open. I don't. It's basically just a line. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to go right to the chart and load it up. This is already run long, so might as well. So right here, this is what I was talking about. So it's possible we could ride up that ring and go all the way. These are the points. This is what I was talking about in previous videos. This, you see this is our resistance. This is on linear scale. This is our resistance back in 2017, resistance in 2021, also 2021. We hit it twice, perfect rejection, right here. This is the 16th of December 2024. This was January 2025. We could push up and test that again. I mean, I'm not saying we can't go much higher. I'm just giving you points to pay attention to. So let me give you a price label here, if I can find it. Hold on, where are we at? All right, price label. So again, I'm gonna make this red. So we got rejected at what, 108,500. We pushed up to 109,539. So if we push up that ring, before crossing it, we could push all the way back up to 112,000. Maybe 113,000. Take out all of those shorts, all that liquidity above. But I don't think we go higher than this point, because if we did, we'd be breaking above a resistance level that goes back since, 2017. That's a lot of resistance, and every time we've hit that line, we got a rejection. So there's no guarantee we push up to that point. I'm just letting you know that that is a level to watch. If we pushed up all the way up to this point, I would definitely short that, because if we got above that, guys, we're off to the moon. But I did want to make sure you guys know about that level there. So let's see here. You have your hourly levels, you have your daily levels, and again, just to make this very clear for people that, some people say, oh, well, you said 5 days we get a move. Understand, this is a ring, all right? The higher we push up, the longer it takes to hit that ring. The further down we go, the closer to the ring we get. At current price, all right, not including today, we are 5 days from the ring. If we drop, and we're down here where I want to go long, or in 84,229, well, if we're down there, we are only 2 days from the ring. So it depends on where price is at. Let's say we push all the way up to 92,000. Well, now we're 8 days from the ring. Either way, we're getting very close to that ring. But pay attention to see if we get above and hold above 88,200. That means we'll be above this key fib line. We'll be breaking above this resistance level. So we're testing a key level. Above that is bullish if you get a daily open. And then, like I said, if we get above 90K, that's even more bullish. Above 92,000, that is extremely bullish. But again, I'm going to wait to make contact with the ring. I'm going to go long. I'm going to hold that long. And then when we cross the ring, that is when I'm going to go short. And that's when I'm going to hold the short. And I will try to get a video up quick. It might even be a 1-minute video or 2-minute video, but I'll put that video up when I go long and when I go short. In that previous video, I did cover one possible scenario. I just want to make sure you understand this, and I think I did cover that, but just to make sure you understand, every time we crossed a ring previously, all right, so this is fib circle, we crossed, notice we got a bounce, we crossed it, we had a major drop, we dropped all the way down to the next ring, and then you can see right here, same thing, we got a huge bounce, it became resistance, we had a drop. And then the next ring, this is the one that played out differently. Notice we got close to the ring, we started pushing up, right? So that's what I'm saying. If you went along now, that's your prerogative. If you want to do that, go ahead. We're getting close to the ring. I think we will push up. But when we cross the ring, I'm expecting a drop. So as long as we have not crossed the ring, you want to stay long, that's fine. But you'll notice this is the one time where we always drop. Like I said, when we crossed it, we hit it, we got a bounce, hit it, got a bounce, but we always drop when we cross it. This is the one time, though, that we held support and we pushed up. But that did give us the point to know when to short. This pattern that we were in, right, that we eventually broke up from, well, we knew that when we made contact with this ring, so this ring we dropped from, so if I go short after we cross a ring and then price stops at a support level and starts pushing up, well, then I'll probably go long or stay out of my trade and wait. But when we hit the ring as resistance, that is a point where you'd want to go short. So that was the third scenario, and that's what we'll have to wait and see what happens. I think it's very possible that we could push above this resistance level. Just pay attention. You'll know by and at the time recording this video, we got 9 hours of the next daily open. So see if we're above 88,100, all right? And if we do, that's bullish because we're potentially getting above this point right here. And then we're possibly going to go higher. But again, I'm saying when we make contact with this ring, I will go long, right? So I will hold my long. As long as before this ring, I will stay long. When we cross it, I will go short. And I will keep that short open. Now, if anything happens where price starts pushing back up, then again, like I said, when we make contact with that ring as resistance, like I said, we could push all the way back up to 115,000 or whatever. I'm just giving you an example. But if we start pushing back up when we make contact with that ring, that would be the point you would go short. And that's just based on that previous ring. So we know a big move's coming. Every time we've hit the ring, we get a nice bounce. So at least you can enter your trade and you can have a stop below. And potentially we go much higher. We cross the ring, you go short, you set a stop and profit, keep it open. And then if price comes back up and you get stopped out, then potentially go long or just wait until we hit that ring as resistance. Either way, I will make a video when I go long, when I go short. The DXY, guys, this video is running so long, I apologize. Making up for the last 2 weeks. Notice I was talking about 104. So right now, 104 is our resistance. I was talking about that was a very key support level. We are just barely above that ring where I said we would get a bounce. But we're bouncing back and forth between our previous, well, this goes way back. This is a key support and resistance level right here around 103.68. But pay attention to see if the DXY gets above 104. If we hold above 104, that would be bullish for the DXY, very bearish for markets, very bearish for Bitcoin. If you see the dollar, the US dollar break below 103, and that becomes resistance, and the Dixie, the dollar, starts dropping like this can be very bullish for markets, very bullish for Bitcoin. But you can see our key support right now is around 103.68, and our key resistance is 104. But again, if we get above 104 and hold support with the dollar, that's going to be bearish for markets, bearish for Bitcoin. And this is just another example. This is another DXY chart I have. You can see we got a perfect rejection at 104, and the next support level I have is around 102.63. But do pay attention to the US dollar. It can kind of give you an idea of what's going on. And again, guys, if you want to sign up for CoinCatch, the events page, if you want to look and see how these bonuses work, that'll be pinned in the first comment description, along with how to claim your bonus. And if you do want to learn how to trade on CoinCatch, this is a tutorial video I put up teaching you how to trade. I'll put a link up to this video now if you want to check it out. But guys, that's it. Just remember, we are getting very close. Do go back, write down those key levels, and over the next few days, I'll just keep making videos. And when I do go long or go short, I will make a quick video. So make sure if you're not subscribed already, you subscribe, because some people say I put videos up and they don't get any alerts. So subscribe and take notification bell. If you don't mind leaving a like, I'd appreciate it too. Guys, that's it. Trade safe, trade smart. I'm out.